The two boats you see behind me are part of Beneteau's MC range, the MC5, and the one closest to us is the MC6. And the idea of these boats is to bridge the gap between their cruisers and their super yacht Monte Carlo range. So they've gone really upscale with these boats, and they're well worth taking a look at. So we'll have a look on this one, as it's the biggest, which is the MC6. This is a 60-foot boat, and therefore pretty palatial, as you might imagine, starting with this big aft cockpit area. There's seating obviously underneath this covered up area just here, and a table is out here as well. And one thing that's really interesting is these doors, because rather than slide as you normally find on this kind of boat, with these they actually hinge completely open, so you get a really open aperture between the cockpit and the interior. As you can see, it is pretty seamless. And in here, this boat's been out a couple of years now, but it was one of the first to feature this aft galley layout. So that really does cater very well for both the inside of the boat and the cockpit, and that's something that's been copied quite a bit. A lot of boats are doing that now. And you've also got a massive storage area over on that side. Saloon is forward of that, like so. Really deep, comfortable seats, masses of space, and a table that opens out for dining if you want to eat inside, like so. But what's really impressive on this deck, I think, is the helm, because this is like something out of Star Trek. Look at this seat. You can't really call it a seat, you can call it a throne, I suppose. So you've got seating here for people to join you up at the helm, but as the owner of this fine ship and the commander, you sit here with this joystick control mounted on it. You've got a really nice footrest down there. In fact, let's try it out. I think it would be rude not to. Oh yeah. That is a very nice place to drive this boat from, and the view's pretty impressive too, because there's no central mullion. You get the full widescreen experience of this screen. It just stretches the full width. You've got big screens down here, like so, and those are controlled either by touch, or there's a panel over here as well, and then you've got your switch gear down over here, and this rather swanky Monte Carlo wheel, like that. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the lower deck. So, with your galley up, the lower deck is all accommodation, and you've got this terrific lobby area as you go down the stairs just here, with your VIP guest cabin up at the front. Now this has got scissor berths, so you can have it as two singles, as we've got at the moment, or you can pull this one in and this one into the centre line. They join up and make a centre line double. Love these portholes they put in here, they're really nice. And there's also masses of light flooding in above, so this feels like a really light, spacious room. It's got its own ensuite, of course, and that's tucked away just in here, like so, with a separate shower stool. So that is for your number one guests, but actually if you're in the second guest cabin, you are not exactly shortchanged, because as we come out of here, we pass the day heads just here. So this is access straight from the passageway, so if people want to use the loo, go and wash their hands, whatever, during the day, that is what they would use. And directly behind that is cabin 3. So your second guest cabin. Again, it's got those lovely portholes. But what they've done quite cleverly with this is, of course, they put a doorway in here. So at night, you can lock that outer door, this one just here. And that now is a ensuite to this cabin. Loads of headroom in here. Very comfortable. But not as comfortable, you would hope, as the master cabin, which we'll find just down here. Again, another lovely large lobby area to go through. It does feel a very spacious boat. And this is your master, like so. Really nice size. I love these big porthole windows they've put in here on both sides. They're massive. I'll have a closer look at that in a moment. But what I'd really like as well is the finish, because they've put this lovely textured finish like this in here. You've got these lovely leather pulls for opening them. This is the wardrobe here, like so. And of course that's not the only space for your bits and pieces. There's masses of it. There's drawers over here, more storage at the back there, and more tucked away down there under the TV. But what's interesting with this is that they've done a sort of an open plan ensuite. So what it does is it takes the width of the cabin right to the edges, and that's where your sink is. And then you've got your shower in a separate cubicle back here, like so. And then at the other end of the cabin, you've got your toilet, just there. And as I say, your sink is actually in the centre here. And you might think, well, it's a shame that mirror's a bit off-centre, but there's a reason for that. And that's because it's on a track. So you can put it to the centre like that when you're having a shave, whatever you want to do. But then when you're lying in bed and you don't want that obscuring your view, it slots out the way. And then you've got the full vista from this magnificent big window here. And there's an opening porthole section as well, so you can get some air through this cabin. And I say on the other side, not that we can see much out of the other side because there's a boat next to us, but when you're at anchor, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So that's your lower deck. Let's go and have a look outside. So we'll go back up here, back up this stairway, back through this fantastic saloon area here, through the galley, and we've got the stairs to the Flybridge just over here. So let's head up there. As you would expect, this is a really good size seating all the way around here. Big table that opens out like the one downstairs, and sunbathing cushions at the back. There's a bar area up here, there's a barbecue underneath here, a fridge, and also a sink over there. And then your upper helm is up here, another nice seat, and forward-facing seating on this side. Interesting that they've done this with a gold finish. As I say, they've gone really quite designer with this boat. Let's turn the reel the right way up because I'm a bit OCD. There we go. Twin screens and a tremendous view out the front. There's a hard top on this particular boat, and that dark section in the centre is a fabric opening section. So you can have this as complete shade as it is at the moment, or you can power that back and have this open to the elements if you prefer. And we'll finish up with a look at the foredeck because that's also another interesting area of this boat. Let's go back down here and up the side, and you can really appreciate as you walk up here this flush mirrored glazing that they put on. Even the opening sections, you can see it just there, it's completely flush. So it's a really smooth profile to the boat. I think that's rather good. And the foredeck itself is totally flat, but it contains a bit of a trick because those sections in the centre there, you've got those what look like hatches there, there and there. What those are is electric sun pads. So a touch of a button, the back one here raises like that, the one in the middle goes that way, and the one at the front then goes up with it and goes that way. So you end up with this lovely contoured lounger. Two of them, of course, because there's another one over on the far side. So that is a rather lovely area to come and catch some sun. I should imagine being up here when a boat's cruising down the coast at 6 knots must be blissful. Let's go right to the front. Some quite impressive looking deck gear there. And then a look back. So that's it. Beneteau's MC6. That is an impressive piece of kit. In fact, that's the MC5 next to it. That's a 50-foot version. A little bit smaller, but equally nicely done. Very impressive.